My name is Anna Jorgensen. I'm a dating coach for men in Vancouver, Canada. If you haven't already, click subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my Just the Tip Tuesday videos. So I got an email from one of my Wake Up to Love grads, and I'm going to read you the email. And he says, basically, I'm over 50, and back when I was dating in my 20s and 30s, prior to smartphones and social media, attractive women who were male attention seekers and teasers were frowned upon and disliked, almost shunned. Nowadays, after being married and divorced, I'm dating again and notice that attractive women over 40 and some even over 50 are big-time attention seekers, users, and teasers. Absolutely true. What happened? I feel like they are saying I'm older and I still got it, so I can treat men however I want. Well, for me, that's discouraging. Of course it is. In fact, I have had actual discussions with these women that tell me outright that they only want attractive younger guys and the rest are just friends. So my question is there a way for me to politely deal with these type of egotistical women and pique their interest in me, as well as avoid the friend zone, or should I just give up and walk away? I ask because this is becoming commonplace around here these days. It's super commonplace. And so part of the reason why we have so many older narcissistic women is, of course, because of feminism. So there's a lot more women who are in the workplace, and there's a lot more formally educated women in the workplace. They are making a lot more money than they ever did before. They don't have to rely on anybody else. And so they don't need a man for money. So now what do you do when you don't need a man for money? You either want him for a legit, deep, meaningful relationship or sex. So if they can just get sex and that's just what they want and they just want someone younger, well, you're not going to convince them otherwise because they don't need you. Sorry, but I know that's the painful truth of it. So my advice is, walk away. But wait, there's going to be a walk away but in here. I'll give you the but in a little bit. A but in a little bit, yeah. So I encourage men to just walk away. But I also encourage them to walk away and tell these women why. Because some of these women can't get younger guys or the type of guys that they want. And if they don't know that it's them, they'll blame men in general. And then we'll continue this vicious cycle of men and women distancing themselves, and then the bridge gets wider. So tell them why you're walking away. But be respectful, because if you're bitter or angry or whatever, if you have a negative emotion, then again, women are just going to put all men in the category of how their experience has been with you. Just like lots of guys say all women are, because the women that they've had experiences with have been like that, even though not all women are. So do tell them, but be respectful so that they can actually maybe learn something and not necessarily blame all men for having learned that, if and when they're ready to open their eyes. If no one tells us why we're getting the result we're getting, we don't always figure it out on our own. We don't always figure it out ever. So we should be told what we're doing wrong, and maybe we can decide for ourselves, whether you're a man or a woman, if you want to change that quality about yourself. But if we're not given the opportunity to know what we're doing wrong or what we could be doing differently, then we're probably not going to change anything. So you're really giving her an opportunity to better herself, even though lots won't. And women are just as egotistically sensitive as men, maybe more so because they're not used to rejection, but we need it. We need it too. Okay, and then of course the other question is, why would you even want someone like this? So why would you want someone like that? Walk away. There are other women in the world who don't need all of this kind of attention. If you're lonely and desperate, then you really need to look at yourself, not at the other woman. Like, why are you so lonely and desperate? Yes, we all long for companionship and connection, but if you're willing to compromise your standards, which you should have, if you don't have them, you got to figure those out, then you're not going to end up in a healthy relationship, even if you do find someone who will accept your desperateness and neediness. Also, if you're only shopping in the places where you're finding narcissistic women, older or younger, then you're shopping in the wrong places. So, if you're not even giving the plain Janes a chance, the 6.5s, then you're missing out. Because here's what's going to happen. If a woman can make you feel like a king, especially sexually, her attractiveness quality, her value, her sexual market value to you is going to go up. You're going to see her as more attractive than what you originally saw her as. So yeah, good women are not on social media puckering and pouting and putting up porn star shots of themselves. If you see that, that's a red flag. Go the other way. And the reason why you think there are so many narcissistic women in the world is because those are the ones that get the attention. It happens that because you're a guy, you are attracted to the physical. So when you see someone who's overdone or over the top or showing a lot of skin or lots of makeup or acting or posting seductive photos, you're going to notice that. And if you notice that those are the women that get lots of followers, well, that sort of influences your perception of how many narcissistic women are actually out there. Like, my friends don't have those photos on their social media. They don't have thousands and thousands of friends and followers who are just validating them sexually. So, of course, you're not going to see those ones. They don't have public profiles for you to drool over. Stop following those kind of girls. Stop it. How to handle. So I did say walk away, and to give them the feedback. Here's how you give feedback or criticism or perceived criticism in a way that is most tolerable to most healthy people. You sandwich it. So it's a love sandwich. You provide the positive quality that you genuinely like and appreciate or admire about the person, and then you put potentially perceived criticism in the middle, and then you buffer it with another slice of compliment in some way that's genuine. So it's not terrible. Here's the sandwich example that I gave for this guy in a particular situation. So I suggest to him that he say to her, as much as you're an amazing woman, and while I love your whatever specific quality that you input there, I don't think this is going to work out between us. I really prefer a woman who doesn't post selfies on social media very often, or whatever it is that you don't like. And even though you're beautiful inside and out, maybe other guys don't mind it, but it's just not the thing for me. You're giving her a compliment, you're saying what you don't like. Depending on her response, will tell you whether or not, she might be amenable to modifying her behavior for you if she cares about you, or if she also doesn't think that behavior is necessary. And then you sandwich it in with another compliment. While you are beautiful, and maybe somebody else won't mind that, but it's not for me. Also, don't forget to watch my Damage to Women video. And did I do a narcissist video? I think so. Yes. I'll put those in the links. Okay, bye.